Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
You can.
Going? Continue. Hi everybody. Hi. I said hi. Hi everybody. Good afternoon. Yeah, my name is Paresh Choudury. I'm teaching in MIT Institute of Design in India. So this today actually, in fact, I'm going to dedicate to this presentation to my father, who just passed away like last week, unfortunately. So the whole thing I'm going to dedicate to him. Anyway, so coming back to my topic is how an Indo-Aryan language-based script is developed on purely circular grid. So that was my title. And the question is it circular influence, is it cultural influence or practicality constraint? So that I need to figure out. It is part of my research impact. My script is I'm talking about on it's Oriya script. It's also it's recently the name has been changed. People started calling it Oriya locally. It's Oriya. This is my script. This is almost, in fact, this is not the script, this is the language. The classical, it is one of the classical Indo-Aryan category. Recently, it was declared by government India, is one of the classical script of India. It's the 5th classical script of India. Before I go into Indo-Aryan category, let me talk about Indo-European, because Indo-Aryan is part of Indo-European. You can see I made it's like I covered almost all the popular script and language. So Indo-European, it has Germanic, Indo-Iranian, Celtic and Balto-Slavic, Hellenic and Italic. And this Indo-Aryan is part of Indo-Iranian. Okay, let's look at little closer look. Yeah, this is Indo-Aryan. So in Indo-Aryan, we have northwest, where we have Kashmiri like Dardik and Pahari Nepali, all those things, Punjabi and Sindhi, and west we have Gujarati, Rajasthani and Konkani, and in central we have Hindi and Devanagari and Bihari, and in eastern part we have Oriya and Bengali. This Oriya actually I'm going to focus on this my presentation. Yeah, let's talk about ethnology. In ethnology, we have 7,000 languages worldwide. Out of that, 415 living languages alone in India. So quite a lot. Worldwide, again, we have 14 basic scripts, which everybody we are aware of. Like one is Latin, Georgian, Arabic, Hebrew, Cyrillic, Greek, Armenian, Indian and Syrian, Japanese, Korean, Ethiopian and Chinese, Mongolian. These are the visual clips, of those, just a look and feel of those languages, those scripts. And when we talk about Indian scripts, we have 10 basic scripts. We have Urdu, Assamese or Bengali, Malayalam, Tamil, Oriya, Telugu, Kannada, Gujarati, Devanagari or Hindi and Gurmukhi. So here again we have the visual, I have the visual reference. And this, this thing I highlighted, this is the Oriya, Oriya script. Yeah, the Oriya script basically is being used in a state called Odisha. It's situated in like east part of the country, next to Bay of Bengal. It was formerly known as Orissa by Britishers, And ancient names it was called by Utkal or Kalinga or then Udra. The state was famous for the famous Konark Sun Temple. You must have heard about it. So that is the state actually I will be talking about. And demography wise, like population is 5 crore, literacy rate is 75%, and language and script, as we know, like is like Oriya. So basically Oriya, it is an Indo-Aryan language belonging to the Indo-European language family, as I said earlier. Oriya appears to have had relatively little influence from Persian and Arabic compared to other major North Indian languages, because in case of other languages, they are somehow influenced by Persian and Arabic influences. So Oriya is one of oldest Indian script which is derived from again Brahmic script. The oldest inscription of Oriya was written around 1060 AD. Okay, so let's look at the development year wise. See, actually this is the whole alphabets, and I circle in the red line, dotted lines. So if you look at the top part, it looks almost like cross, like a plus, symbol of plus, that point. And it was 3rd century BC. And it's gradually it's becoming little taking a shape, and the blue, I highlighted the blue with the blue dotted line. So the first one in the blue line, it's like just quite similar to like Devanagari. And the modern Oriya script is, which is the bottom, the extremely bottom part, is like more of circular. It's becoming, taking a shape. So in my presentation, I'm going to like reveal the things, how the circular, form, takes into play. Okay, let's look at the book. Actually, I got a reference from a book called Typography of Devanagari, where all the Indian languages, all the scripts are, depicted. So this is the Oriya. So look, this script, if you look at it like closely, it's like it stands out, for its unique look and feel kind of thing. It's more of circular thing, compared to other, neighboring scripts and all. Some scripts are a little curvilinear, but it's not like a fully circular. But in this case, in Oriya, it's like almost circle. Let's look at other ways. Yeah, this is like we have given like Oriya at the top line, and then we have Devanagari, Bengali, and Telugu. So look at like it stands out, looks almost circle here. Devanagari is somehow quite similar, but there are so many, like there's a horizontal line at the top, and in the Bengali also it looks like little angular character, and Telugu little bit curvilinear, but not like fully circular kind of thing. So this is the comparison between Oriya script and Devanagari. This is like a letter called Ka. See the difference. This is the low part is almost same, but upper part is circular. So this is the way, like when kids start learning the script, like actually initially they were taught to start with 3 circles. They just start is like like they call it Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesa. They just name of like the gods something, and they have to learn the circle, fully circle, so that they will be habituated writing all the script like in a very circular way. So this is the printed script. See, this is almost circle. It's like based on circular grid. Very simple, very easy to draw, easy to write, to me maybe. And if you design it like a simple, you can take 1 circle, then you can add 2 little circles, a little bit adjustment, and you will get your alphabet, you get your letter. So this is another example. See. So then, why are the circles? So where did it come from? So let's see in another little very technically. So this is some script written like something, and let's see. So everything is based on like circular grid. Again another example. See the difference. I mean, it's almost everything is circle except like a one vertical line. So a lot of circular grids. So basically, historian says they believe like why it is circular, because earlier Oriya script were written on the palm leaf. So palm leaf was very much a delicacy to handle. If you use so much vertical lines or straight lines, there is a fear of tearing the leaf, because they used to use a very sharp kind of stylus. So that was a reason they say. But I'm being a designer. Earlier I used to accept this idea, but then over a period I started to look at the culture, because I grew up in that culture. So we started something, wherever we see any design form, any art form, any crafts, something. So people used to draw like a circle, something. So I will show some examples, some evidence, because I believe like it's very much cultural influence, cultural reflections, you can say. See, this is like a printed version. The script which is given like at the top, and this is the script written on the palm leaf. It's like the palm leaf, okay, because they have to write rapidly, freehand. So it's like you cannot do like geometrically, it should be correct. But when you design it like for the printing, the block making earlier, so they used to do it like very geometrically correct or something. So it took like a circular form shape. Okay, so let's look at the other scripts in neighboring scripts. My question is, why not with other scripts? Because those scripts also written on the manuscripts also, palm leaf. In case of a Bengali and Devanagari, they used to be written. They are also one of those Indo-Aryan language-based script. They were also written on the palm leaves, but they are not fully circular. The Sirorekha, the headlines at the top, they are straight, and there's a vertical lines at the center. Little bit curvilinear characters, but it's not like fully circle. And this is all those scripts, like major scripts of India. The Bengali, Hindi, and at the center we have Oriya, then Punjabi, then Tamil and Telugu and Gujarati. You see, like the Oriya stands out because of this circle. So almost looks like a circle. This one. So this is another way to look at it. We have two different, one side, left side is Dohokos Lipi. It's like similar to the palm leaf script. They have to write very rapidly. So it little bit something, but this right side is like after British came to India. The British missionaries, they brought printing machine first time. It was around 19th century. They brought the printing machine to Orissa and all. They started printing like with help of block making system. So they hired like all those local artists and all. They given them the assignments to design this form which can be printable something. And because since they were habituated with the culture which is full of like circles, I am going to show that, and they tried that simpler way to make it more circular, something like that, which can be converted into like a block printing methods. So this printed forms they are more cleaner, more geometrical and more circular. Okay, let's look at the culture, the Oriya culture. You must be aware of the culture in different ways. We have Odissi dance. We have applique works, Pipili applique works. They're very famous. We have like rasgolas, sweets, And we have Patachitra, we have car festivals, we have other foods, all those things. Odissi dance again. This is I'm just giving the look and feel of the whole culture. Okay, let's look at like one by one. In case of Odissi dance, the whole lot I observed the dance in many ways. I have the clips. If you have time, I can show you that also. But I just freeze some moments of the dance. You can see a lot of circle and all. The dance starts with they say namaste, the welcome in a circular way. If you see Odissi dance, something like that. That's quite similar in other dance also. Some Indian Bharatanatyam and all. Similar the script also in that way a little bit influenced. But I'm not saying like it's totally influenced by the dance, the traditional dance. But I will show some other things. Circles in Odissi dance. In the sculpture also, temple architecture and sculpture, everything. You look at the arc, if you look at all the things like there's a circular movement, body language, body movement, everything, and they use a lot of they fond of using circles, everywhere prominently. Circles in Odia sculptures. Okay, let's look at the Pipli. If you visited Orissa, Puri, Jagannath Puri or Bhubaneswar, there's on the way there's a huge like a village, and the people used to sell all those things, cloth, material, applique wax. And they are like prominent figures of circle. It's very much prominent and centrally drawn. So circle is also very important in Odissa's famous applique work. Everywhere the circle is the most prominent figure. If you look at other art form, crafts and all, you will see like everything like more of like circular. Even that they are like the Lord Jagannath is also circular form. The eye is also fully circle. Look at even the Patachitra, all those, it's not circle in the body, all the muscles, anatomy, it also goes like a kind of circle, half circle, semicircle kind of thing. If you look at randomly, you can pick some fast foods and all. They all also half circle, circle. They cannot do like a triangle or something like that much. So they cannot try with rectangular something like that. Even village women and all, I grew up like looking at, my mother and my sisters and all. So whatever festivals, they put Rangoli Jhoti, we call it Jhoti, all, like a very circular way. It's very prominent, You see. So this is a traditional Jhotis. Even look at the people in general, the look and feel, they use all the costumes and all jewelries, even their appearance it appears like a circular. So why then script could be like different? So that's why they took a shape like a circle. It's a very simple thing, like nobody is like, it's very, nobody has, looked at, observed like this very simple thing and something, how it is connected so straight way to the culture. So I just discovered, I am still researching on it, something. Let's look at again, the printed version and all, like whole lot circular grids. So hence it is purely cultural influence to me. Okay, then I look at this thing again, the cultural typefaces, the traditional typefaces in outdoor context and all. It's like this is okay. Somehow they change a bit, but they added a lot of cultural elements to it, very decorative elements. So look at all those things. If you see this kind of characters, spike kind of thing. They are derived from, I believe, this Patachitra, all those things. You can see a lot of all those elements are full of. Okay, so some explorations in culture-centered typography that we developed. I guided my students. Let's do. Okay, we find the anatomy of the typeface. The script is like circular. Out of that, what else we can add on? We can keep adding something like that. So we one by one we just take the Pipili applique work, this colorful circular with a lot of decorative elements. So we took it as a like a inspirational board, and we developed, and we initial explorations like doodlings and all, and this we developed some visual language initially, simplified, we extract some simplified elements and just put it like just like the simple grammar, like one circle, two circle, and one straight line, and just I developed like this is this thing. So this design could be used for identity development or any kind of event identity or something like that. It can be used for the readable font for a newspaper or textbook, that's for sure. So this is the like the whole development. I put it in a single page, single slide. So there is a strong connection, you can see. This could be used in outdoor context in various applications. Yeah, this is the whole exercise and various, and also we tried the black and white version also, single color. It's a color one. So this is again coming back to this, the whole grids I'm reminding you. I'm also working on some readable basic fonts for on basis of all those grammars and all. So we are developing some readable fonts without all those extra elements, decorative elements, which could be used for the newspapers and all. Because during this exercise, I also in my part of my as part of my research, I observed a lot of which is not logical things, a lot of like errors, in terms of design, in terms of aesthetics, in terms of consistency, all the things. So I observed a lot of this thing, like the descender, they try to put together like within that cap heights, which is not correct, and somewhere there is no like consistency. Some descenders like going away from the like cap height or something, leading lines. So these are errors I found. Nowadays the people are using, they don't bother about, because the state is like state doesn't have the proper design education. Though we studied like design outside of state, and when we came back, we observed all those things and all. So nowadays I started the initiative and all. I organized a lot of conference on typography in the state, within the state and all. So we it's like in the process of like to develop, to retain the originality in the typeface, in the font. So it's not acceptable. I mentioned there are a lot of things. It's like aesthetically may look good, yes. So but it's not like terms of consistency, in terms of originality of the script. So it's like spoil the script actually, I can say. So no consistency at all. So dhanyavad, it means thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah. Thanks to my students who helped me a lot. And this is my email ID. If in case any input or feedback or any kind of collaboration, for to develop this font, this script, so please write to me. Thank you so much. Any question? Yeah.
I am interested in other scripts that also circular, like Burmese, for example.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think Burmese is more circular than Oriya.
Oh, really?
Have you done research on their culture?
Which script you talk about?
Burmese.
Burmese.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I didn't know. Is it part of the Brahmic script? Is it derived from Brahmic script? Because in case of Thai script, I just observe that also somehow circular, because that is also with the parent script is Brahmic, Brahmic script.
Yeah.
So maybe if it is like some Far Eastern script, so it could be, I believe that it could be derived from the like Brahmic script. So it could be circular or something like. And maybe look at your culture, maybe there could be some kind of connection.
Okay.
Yeah. Please.
any modern calligraphy now, not on the leaves, and with some modern instruments maybe?
Yeah, no, actually that could be, but that is that the culture itself, I just observed, they're so much habituated with the circle. So even if like they do something freehand calligraphy something, it become a circle. Yeah.
I have a question regarding the circle, and so in your opinion, is the circle more important than round? So how does, for example, condensed typefaces fit into this? Is it more important that it be circular, or is it?
Can you repeat your question actually? Yeah. Can you repeat? Yeah.
Yeah. So in your opinion, is it more important for Oriya? Is it to be circular, or is it all right for it to retain round elements?
Yeah. To
Do
me.
you understand what I mean? Like the hierarchy, is it most important, in your opinion, that it remains circular? So, for example, things like condensed typefaces wouldn't work in Oriya because they're not circular as opposed to just being round.
Yeah, that's okay. You know, in case of like for the sake of like for design sake, you can change it bit, but you should not change your original what you call skeleton. So skeleton, even if you condense, it could be oval, but again, it's like like a part of circle. It's derived from circle.
Because these
So that little bit, because you cannot like sometimes if you remember in my presentation, some outdoor typefaces they use like also rectangular shape, but in that case still you can see that grammar is still there. So it the grid is still there. I mean to say.
okay, because in many of the examples you show that they were based on circles as opposed to elliptical designs that incorporated elliptical elements. So
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
I have a question, because in the first typeface they designed in 1809, how do you explain that they were using some angular shapes instead of the top curve?
In my presentation.
Well, no, in the Serampore typeface. It's the first one that they added.
In the first one.
No.
In my presentation.
Well, you didn't show the Serampore typeface. You were talking about that, but actually you were not showing the typeface.
Which one?
Back,
Okay.
before.
You have to tell me, where?
Well, you never showed the typeface. You were just mentioning that when the British missionaries went to Orissa, they created a typeface because there were no typefaces. But in that one, there's some curves are not curves, are just angular.
In this one?
You never show that, but it's in the typeface. You
Okay.
didn't show the typeface, the original typeface.
This one?
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is not the typeface they did.
Yeah, this is actually the left one is like written on the palm leaf.
Yeah, but the right one is not the British one, the British missionary.
Yeah, the right one, the British are, they developed into, they converted into like purely
No,
circular.
it's not like that.
Yeah, if you look at, if you enlarge it, if you enlarge it, yeah, like you will see the like grid because,
Yeah, but that's not the one they designed. It's not the British typeface.
No, this is not British one, but I just, this is I picked up some old books and all similar, and I just digitally I traced it out, to get a clear picture, to just for the presentation sake. But if you look, if you enlarge it, you will see the like lot of circles, It's the same thing, if you look at the closer one. Anyway,
Next conference.
yeah. So we'll keep discussing after this thing, no problem. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah.